Guys, there comes a point in time to where you just have to stop believing in stuff and you have to just accept things for what they are. And I've reached that point right now. Over the course of the last 5 years, ever since Travis Williams became the president of this franchise, and when Ben Cherington was hired as GM after that, with God as my witness, my old time subscribers, you know I'm telling the truth when I say this. I tried so hard, so hard to get on board with this rebuild. So hard to be patient with the rebuild. I can't anymore. I can't. These last 6 games out in California, that to me that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. What's going on, everybody? I am Mac, back with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram. Link is in the box below. The Pirates did the right thing in 2019, at least, by tearing it all down after yet again another historic collapse. And for a while, I was like, if it, I was hesitant at first. And then I saw who we hired at GM with Ben Cherington, because he built up a World Series championship team in Boston. And he built up a pretty solid team in Toronto as well. And I'm like, well, okay, I'll give him a chance. But with the Red Sox, I mean, they're a top payroll team. It's not that hard to build a championship team with that. And then the Toronto Blue Jays, I mean, they're a bigger market than Pittsburgh is. So maybe I just gotta be patient because the Pirates are small market. And I don't know why this franchise is so in love with the first 40 games of the season as being the point to where they start to panic and they start to, see things for what they really are, for what the team is. I don't know how any Pirates fan, diehard, loyal, casual fans even, I don't know how you can be a fan of this franchise at any level and not be wildly concerned with how they are offensively. Because like I keep like for the millionth time with this team offensively, they are motivated to run up the count on every opposing pitcher. Guess what? It does not convert into success. They don't convert it that way. More often than not, they're leaving a bunch of runners on base. They're striking out a ton and they're not hitting. And when they do hit the ball, they're not even hitting it hard. The Pirates have the lowest exit velo in the majors. Exit velo just being how hard they hit the ball. And the Pirates hit the ball barely over 86 miles an hour. That ain't good. They have no pop in the swing. They're not hitting with runners on. And you want some numbers? Since the Pirates were 9-2, which was 21 games ago, and it was their best start since 1992, they have gone 5-16 since then. Collectively, they are hitting 199 collectively. On base percentage, 281. 135 total hits. And out of those 135 hits, 102 of them were singles. And here's the really shocking one. During this stretch, the Pirates have averaged striking out 9.1 times per game. And they've now struck out 300 total times this season, which is actually, believe it or not, the fourth highest strikeout percentage in the MLB. I just find that incredibly hard to believe that there are actually three other teams that have struck out more than the Pirates have. And they're probably the three teams that you can think of right away: Colorado, the Chicago White Sox, and the Miami Marlins. And there we are at four. This is what you kept us waiting 5 years for, Cherington. This is what you kept us waiting for. I mean, this is your future right here. This right here is your future. These crop of players that you tanked for, the crop of players that you drafted, the crop of players that you are counting on to be core contributors of this franchise going forward, guys that you extended millions of dollars for. This is what you had us waiting for. A bunch of players who don't hit the ball hard, who just stand at the plate and watch every single pitch just go right by them. They don't even swing the bat. Guys that can't play defense. The defense has been the second most disappointing thing with the Pirates this season. You'd have thought the Pirates could at least be a top 10 defensive team this year. Guys who can't turn double plays, guys who have balls just roll right underneath their gloves. They misplay balls. They don't call off their guys. They can't see a simple pop fly ball that a freaking pony leaguer can see and make. This is what you kept us waiting for all this time? Wow. And then not even that. How about we get into what should really sting if you're a Pirates fan? Let's talk about some of the core contributors of what they've been so far this season. Bryan Reynolds, the guy who we extended last year for the largest contract in the history of this franchise. He was DHing on Wednesday night. Yeah, that's what you give this guy the biggest contract in this franchise's history for, is to DH. Because last I checked, he should be your left fielder. So why are you still experimenting with Bryan Reynolds? If you're going to give him the day off, give him the day off. You don't have him DH. That makes no sense to me. It just doesn't. And that's on Derek Shelton right there. I mean, sure, he'll run into a ball eventually, get an extra base hit eventually, but he hasn't been consistent with it. But then again, you're putting him in the lineup to be the DH when that should be Andrew McCutchen's role. Which, speaking of which, Andrew McCutchen, I love you, brother. You'll always be my favorite Pirate that I've ever seen play. But he's a complete waste this year. His highlight this year is the one thing that everybody's going to be pointing to, and that was when he hit his 300th career homer against the Phillies a couple weeks ago. That's it. He hasn't done. He's hardly done anything since then, other than that good game those couple of good games and those leadoff homers that he had against the Brewers, and that's it. Complete waste. O'Neal Cruz, or should I say O'Neal Polanco? Yeah, I went there because that's who O'Neal Cruz is starting to really remind me of, is Gregory Polanco. He is a 6'7" Gregory Polanco. He is Gregory Polanco in the infield. Nothing but an out. More specifically, a strikeout. And don't give me the excuse that, well, he's still a little roughed up from last year because he broke his leg at home plate. Doesn't that just counter my argument even more about the development of this franchise? When O'Neal Cruz can't even slide properly, And you see what happens right there. He breaks his leg in the process, and he hasn't been the same player since then. I swear to you, he is the Pirates version of Devin Bush. That's all O'Neal Cruz is. Nothing but a 6'7" strikeout is what he is. Jack Suwinski, he's backpedaling as well. He's lost power in his swing. He hasn't done anything since hitting that grand slam against the Phillies a couple weeks ago. His fielding is starting to decline. And this is a guy who we were high on as well in Jack Suwinski. He's been disappointing. Henry Davis, send the guy down. Do something with him because I'm there. I'm calling him a bust. I really am. There was a reason I was disappointed that we drafted him a couple years ago because, hey, while Kumar Rocker is getting Tommy John surgery right now, guess what? Henry Davis hasn't been a consolation prize. His defensive catching is sloppy. He's not hitting the ball in play. As a matter of fact, I think the last time that he actually hit the ball in play is that he hit the ball into a double play. I mean, that just summarizes Henry Davis in a nutshell. Complete and utter waste of a first overall pick. Complete bust is what Henry Davis is. Makes no sense to even keep him on the team right now because Joey Bart is a better catcher than he ever will be. We have a veteran in Yasmani Grandal, and when Endy Rodriguez is healthy and when he recovers, he's going to be your catcher as far as I'm concerned. So Henry Davis is pointless to even have on the team. Completely pointless. Ke'Bryan Hayes, that Gold Glove is looking like a fluke. That start to the season that he had swinging the bat looking like a fluke. He's hardly done anything except for that home run against the Giants on Saturday night. Other than that, Ke'Bryan Hayes looking like a waste of money right there. When Connor Joe is statistically your best hitter, that's concerning. And hey, I like Connor Joe. I think he's a hard worker. But he should not be your best hitter. In a team that has a bunch of these guys that were called up and you're counting on to be core contributors for them going forward. Complete and utter waste of money what Ke'Bryan Hayes is. Brian Reynolds starting to look like a waste of money. And I'll even say Mitch Keller starting to look like a waste of money. I'm officially done with Mitch Keller. I mean, his location is off. His speed is off. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if he's hurt. I don't know if last year was a fluke. I don't know what the deal is. But I'm done with him. I really am. These are the guys that you are counting on to be core contributors of. And while, yes, Derek Shelton is a complete imbecile and Andy Haynes is a terrible hitting coach, these players, like I said at the beginning, Ben Cherington tanked, drafted, and called up from the farm for 5 years for, and this is the end product that we're getting out of it. This franchise, the main point here is that Ben Cherington answers to Travis Williams. And because Ben Cherington won't make a change and he's on the mindset of, well, we had a bad series out in California. Now we have 9 home games coming up. Let's just start fresh and just have a nice homestand. That's the mindset that he's in. The main point of this entire video is that the Pirates are just so damn dysfunctional. They have no idea how to develop talent. They have no idea how to scout. They have no idea how to draft. They rush players up. They hold on to players too long. They give up on players too late. They get nothing in return for trades. It's been going on for decades. As I said in my video after the A's series, I've seen so many teams in this league turn their franchise around in 3 years. Atlanta, I've seen it with them, won the World Series in 2021. Houston, sure, they're off to a terrible start, but do you think it's going to last much longer for them? They won 2 World Series going to 4. Texas Rangers, they're the defending champs. Baltimore Orioles, they built up a fantastic team over there in Baltimore. Would you believe that a few years ago they were losing 110 games a season? Kansas City starting to turn the corner. Philadelphia built up a really solid team. Seattle built up a solid team. Milwaukee built up a good team. The Cubs went from having a fire sale in 2021 to just a short retooling stint, and now they look like a decent team. The Reds have turned it around. Like I said, I've seen so many damn teams turn their franchise around because they fire coaches that are not good. They make decent trades. They know how to manage their farm. Meanwhile, where are we? Bottom of the barrel, continuing to be a laughing stock of the MLB. No one respects us. And that's why I'm saying that this rebuild is a failure. I'm officially saying it. I've been patient long enough. I've given Ben Cherington every benefit of the doubt long enough. And Paul Skeens is the last piece of this supposed puzzle that you're building up to be a contention team with. And you're not going to supplement him with any kind of offense because Ben Cherington won't fire Derek Shelton and he won't fire Andy Haynes and he won't fire Oscar Marine. He won't fire anybody because he thinks everything is just, well, it's one bad sample size. Let's just start fresh. This is who we have as a GM. This guy. This is who we have as a GM. It's inexcusable. And it's not only infuriating to the fan base, but it's also infuriating to people who have to cover this team. And that's why I've given up on the rebuild. Whatever hope I may have had with this rebuild is gone. Whatever optimism I may have had with this rebuild is gone. And I know we got the Colorado Rockies coming up for a 3-game series starting on Friday, or starting tonight rather, but even if the Pirates do win that series, and yes, I am saying that is an if because, hey, you know when the last time the Pirates won a series? It was a month ago against the Baltimore Orioles. How we even won that series against the Orioles just mystifies me. Oh, wait a minute. I know how we won that series. It's because Gunnar Hernandez failed to make a simple double play that a high school baseball player could have made, and it allowed 2 runs to score, and the Pirates got incredibly lucky. In my eyes, the Pirates haven't won a series since the National Series. Anyway, even if the Pirates do win this series against the Rockies, I mean, what's that going to do? What's it going to prove? Oh, what? That we're better than a 7-24 team? I mean, you better be better than a 7-24 team because apparently the Oakland A's are better than you. If they just absolutely took you to the woodshed the series before, wasn't even close. Like I said, I'd rather be the freaking 6-25 Chicago White Sox. I don't have to worry about competing. I don't have to worry about the playoffs. I don't have to worry about my farm. I don't have to worry about blowing. I don't have to worry about development. I don't have to worry about competing with the top dogs. All I know is that my team would just suck. I don't have to worry. And best of all, I don't have to worry about being teased. It really is a shame that I'm sitting here on May 3rd saying that I'm done with the rebuild. I'm done believing in it. Until Cherington starts or whoever is at GM, until whoever the GM may be going forward with this franchise, I am not going to have any hope whatsoever with this absolutely dysfunctional franchise. Okay? Because who's to say that they're going to overpay someone massively, or they're going to extend someone massively, or they're going to make another dumb trade like the Chris Archer trade in 2018. And it'd be one thing if the Pirates were a big market team and they had those bad contracts. Teams like the Yankees, teams like the Red Sox, teams like the Dodgers, they can afford to have a couple of bad contracts on their team. Why? Because they have money. They're big market teams. We're small market. One bad contract, one bad extension can kill us. When you're a team like the Pirates, like the Reds, the Brewers, the Indians, the Rays, the A's, the Orioles, when you're small market teams like that, you cannot afford a bad contract. You have to draft well to be competitive. You have to build through the farm. And these crop of players that the Pirates have tanked for and drafted are just not panning out. And that's on the front office. That is squarely on the front office for the lack of development, for the poor development, for the poor scouting. That is on the front office. Anyway, that's really all I got. Wow, I can't believe it's been 22 and a half minutes, but I had a lot to say in this video. I'm done with the rebuild. I can't get on board with that anymore. I've been patient enough with it. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'm Mac, checking on out for the day. Have a good one, everybody.